devs finally did it, they listened, and we have been given Mewtwo X and Y Nerfs. Now, as much as I would prefer them to just remove Mewtwo from the game, I guess I will have to just settle for these nerfs. So in this video, I'm just going to go over the patches and give my thoughts on all the buffs and nerfs, and so let's jump into it. Starting with Mewtwo X, Future Sight has received a cooldown increase from 7.5 seconds to 9 seconds, and the stun duration decreased from 0.75 seconds to 0.5 seconds. They didn't nerf the damage, but maybe the cooldown will make up for it. I mean, adding 1.5 seconds to a move doesn't seem like much, but we will see how that holds up this season. Next, they nerfed Mewtwo X's Unite move, Infinite Sideburn. The damage has been decreased and cooldown increased from 112 seconds to 134. That's about 2 minutes and 14 seconds needed to get ult, but this doesn't account for extra wild Pokemon you kill to speed up the process. I mean, clearing a jungle alone gives you 40% ult charge, so adding cooldown only does so much. Finally, for Mewtwo X nerfs, the base stats have been nerfed for the Pokemon. Critical chance at level 5 has been reduced from 10 to 5, and level 9 to 15, they reduced it from 20% to 10%. Nerfing the critical chance is nice, because I definitely have died in Mewtwo simply due to critical damage, but it's the critical damage from Mega Form that kills me. So it's been nice to see X's Mega Form damage reduced and more nerfs done to his Mega Form than just his base form. It seems like they're avoiding nerfing that on this Pokemon, which is the biggest problem when it comes to Mewtwo, not the cooldown of the moves or the crit rate, but we're gonna see how that fares this season of Pokemon Unite. Anyway, next up, Mewtwo Y has been hit with his first nerf. Same as Mewtwo X, Y has received cooldown lengthens, but this form has longer cooldowns. Both Future Sight and Recover are now on 10-second cooldowns, and Future Sight has also received damage decrease, and duration of effects have been decreased as well. And once again, the Unite move has been made to have a cooldown of 2 minutes and 14 seconds with reduced damage. Now, if I'm gonna be honest, these nerfs probably won't do much, and that's just me speculating based off of the stats and everything. I could be wrong, but honestly to me, increasing Unite move cooldowns doesn't do much because, like I said, you could just farm wild Pokemon, and the problem area with these Pokemon Mewtwo, are the Mega Forms and not so much the base stats. But we'll see, what happens later on in the season, and if these stat changes have actually made Mewtwo more balanced. Okay, moving on to more exciting and interesting buffs. Serena has been buffed and nerfed. It's really weird, and I'm going to get into that in a second, like her defense and special defense. So if you look at the stat increase with each level, you can see nothing too significant happens early on, but if you manage to get to like level 10 or 15, you can see the stats are going to make you very tanky, and the buff on these are pretty crazy, and I wonder if Serena is actually playable now. Okay, so this is where it gets weird because they buff Triple Axel a bit with damage. But what's weird is apparently Pokemon Unite messed up, and so the base healing that you get with your passive, it looks like it has been nerfed instead of buffed. The same with Stomp, Trump Kick, Grassy Glide from the base move has been reduced instead of increased, and I think this is a mistake Pokemon Unite made. Serena stays the same except for some base stat changes. So we have Umbreon nerfs. Snarl has been nerfed. They have added an additional second to Snarl, and they have added some damage decreases. I don't think this changes Umbreon much though. It still will be a formidable defender to go against. Umbreon is just good at initiating fights and staying alive while providing hindrances to enemies, and Umbreon just does such a better job at defending because they don't get shredded in seconds. They just have high special defense and defense that they can stack, and then they can also reduce like the enemy special defense and attack and stay alive in team fights. So I don't think these nerfs will do too much. Umbreon is still a super good defender. Cram has had a bug fix. Apparently Gatling Goat Missile shot more than intended, and I just think the devs don't like Cram, so they had to put some type of like patch on her or nerf on Cram, because I'm pretty positive the devs don't like Cram. Next up, we have Ninetales with a nerf. It's not too significant. They just added some cooldown time to both Blizzard and Avalanche. If you guys have been playing Pokemon Unite lately, you know that a lot of people have been picking Ninetales a lot more, and Blizzard and Avalanche are a really good combo to keep, you know, your opponents like in place and to provide really good crowd control for your teammates. I found it a lot harder to kill Ninetales because not only does Ninetales have a team to back her up, but she also has, you know, Blizzard to back you away and an Avalanche to provide her that wall. Also, Ninetales is just a super good character because her boosted attack can actually freeze you, and then she has a passive where if you're nearby that also freezes you. So yeah, I guess they had to hit Ninetales with this nerf because she's been becoming a more strong character that's been making the games kind of rough in Unite, so they had to hit Ninetales with the nerf. Next up we have Pikachu. Oh, Pikachu, I don't know what to think about Pikachu. So Pikachu has been buffed. He's got some cooldown reductions for Thunder and Thunderbolt, increased base damage for Thunder. And so here's my thing with Pikachu. He's not a very good attacker by himself, but he is good with a team. He has a decent CC and damage, but it feels very minimum compared to like Ninetales or Gardevoir or other attackers. But maybe these buffs will make people want to play him more. I don't know, Pikachu just isn't as strong as he was when the game first came out. I remember when this game first released, a lot of people wanted to play Pikachu because he was one of the best attackers in the game. But as the seasons have been progressing, Pikachu has become more and more of not the best option to pick. And on a lot of my teams with Pikachu, they do either nothing or they do really good. And so that's why I say he's really good with the team, but by himself, he's not that good. And there's other attackers that can fare better alone than Pikachu. But if an enemy sees Pikachu, or, you know, if you're on a team and you see Pikachu by himself, you can pretty much kill him by yourself right there alone. So yeah, like I said, maybe these buffs will make him more playable. Finally, on to the last and my highlight for this patch. It is the Gengar buffs. He has been buffed finally. Gengar is getting some love. So his base stats have been increased. Nothing too drastic, but similar to Serena, the more he levels, the more these stats will keep him tanky. Unlike Serena though, Gengar has received special attack buffs, and so be ready to see more Gengar this season. He is definitely one of my favorite Pokemons in the game, and it's nice to see him getting some attention. But yeah, that wraps up these buffs and nerfs. I'm curious to see what everyone thinks, and if you think this will be another season where Mewtwo's dominate the game, or do you think like upcoming Pokemon like Blaziken and Mimikyu and Miscarta, you think these new Pokemon are gonna make finally a counter for Mewtwo? Or do you think, like I said, Mewtwo will continue to dominate the game? Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have an awesome day.